Alright guys, I guess that one cut out, so we'll just pick up right here. If you notice, it does not equal 0, so we're going to subtract 20 on this side. We're going to subtract 20 on this side. This would cancel. Now I'm going to rewrite it. Here, I'll turn it for you. Okay. So now I have 1x squared negative 8x minus 20 equals 0. And notice, negative 20 could not get subtracted here or here because they're not the same. So, blah, rewrite it. Now I have my A, my B, and my C. So the song goes, negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared. So B gets plugged in both these spots. Okay? Negative 4AC. So A is 1, so it goes here and here, and then our C goes here. Again, if you have your calculator, you can just plug that whole thing in. If you don't, we're going to do it by hand. Negative and a negative make a positive, plus or minus the square root. Negative 8 squared. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive, so it's really just 8 times 8, which of course is 64. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 times negative 20 would give you positive 80. Okay? So now I'm going to add 64 and 80, and I get 144 all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Now, if you pay attention here, you do know the square root of 144. So the square root of 144 is 12. So right now, we're going to say, we're going to have to simplify it, okay? So 8 plus or minus, this, you said the square root of 144 is 12, so it's 12 over 2. Now, we, of course, will go over this a little bit more in depth, and we'll keep dividing and working it out. But for now, I just want you to get used to the formula, plugging it in and working it out. So let's do this one. If you notice, we have 1x squared minus 5x minus 36. I didn't have to do anything to it because it already equaled 0. I have my A, my B, and my C. So I sing my song, negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC, Annabella's singing it, all over 2A, okay? So we're going to plug it in. These first two are your B's, so that's a negative 5. And even though this says a negative, you still plug in a negative 5, okay? These next two are A's, so in this case they're 1s. And then we plug in a negative 36, okay? So, negative and negative make a positive, plus or minus the square root. Negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and now I have negative 4 times negative 36. Well, two negatives make a positive, so I can just kind of go right here and say 36 times 4. And 6 times 4 is 24. Put down my 2, carry my 4. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 144. And we have to add that to that 25. So now I have 144 plus 25, and I get 169. Okay? So now I have 169. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Now again, I can simplify. Plus or minus, so 5 plus or minus. You should know the square root of 169. That's one of the ones I made you memorize. The square root of 169 is 13. So that means the square root comes out. And the 13 goes over here, all over 2. And like I said, for now, this is as far as we're going to go, and we'll go further in a little bit later. Okay? All right, so let's do the next one. Luckily, it always equals 0, so I put down my 1. Label ABC. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. So, we're going to go plug them in. Okay. So, this is our B right here and here, and that's a 6. This is our A here and here, and that's a 1. And then our 10 is a C. Okay. So negative 1 times 6 would give me negative 6 plus or minus the square root. 6 squared is 36. Negative 4 times 10. Well, negative 4 times, and obviously we're skipping 1 because that would stay the same. Negative 4 times 10 is negative 40. So now I have 36 minus 40, which is a negative 4 all over 2 times 1, which is 2. And I want you to leave this one alone. We're not going to talk about this today, but how to get a negative out of a square root. It's going to end up having an I, which is something y'all are not used to yet. So again, right now, I just kind of want it in these little areas. All right, here's my last one. And then what y'all are going to do is you're going to finish the rest of the packet for homework. So I'm going to skip this one because it already equals 0. So y'all are going to go back to it and do it. I'm just going to do something that's a little bit harder for y'all. That way you don't have the super hard ones for homework, okay? So if you notice, this needs to equal 0 and it doesn't. So I want either to move this on this side or to move all of this on this side. It doesn't matter. It's whatever's up to you. I'm going to move this 2x here and I'm going to move it over here. So if I do this, this would cancel and equal 0, which is fine. Now remember, exponents have to go in order from highest to lowest. So right now, this says negative 1x squared minus 2x positive 7. And now I have my A, my B, and my C. Okay, I'm going to go plug them in. So the song is negative B, which is our negative 2, plus or minus the square root of B squared. So that negative 2 goes in again. Minus 4 AC. AC. All over 2A. In this case, our A is a negative 1. Okay, so now we're going to go work it out. 2 negatives, of course, make a positive, plus or minus the square root. Negative 2 squared, 2 negatives make a positive, so it's just 2 times 2, which is 4. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Positive 4 times 7 is 28. So now I just have 4 plus 28, which is 32. I'll put that in my square root. Divided by, what is 2 divided, I'm sorry, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Okay? And then for right now, you're just going to leave it like that. And you're just going to keep doing the same thing. Well, in this instance, if it doesn't have a C, you can just obviously go replace that C with a 0. Okay? So again, that's your A, your B, and your C. And so you're going to finish the rest for homework. Okay? All right, love you. Be good for the sub.